Hello everyone and welcome to another match of Hitman Bingo. Today we are wrapping up the round 1 matches. First it is between Mando and Pigiero, starting in Sapienza and then going to Hokkaido if I'm not mistaken. And that's the case indeed, before a potential Chongqing decider. But of course that is in case of a 1-1 tie. I also have a co-caster for this one. Hello Jokerj.
Having fun. I hope you're doing well today.
And OBS wise sounds looked decent, but let us know if some of us needs to turn itself up or down. I can do it on OBS, of course. So yeah, it was a last second link that I sent, but is that the one you were looking for?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I can see it. I see it fine.
Yeah, less than a minute then until we get to start in Sapienza. We haven't had a Sepi in the tournament so far. 2 deciders, but we didn't get there yet, so it's a first today.
Yeah, my experience from practicing Sapienza is you usually have like a row and a bit where you're doing inside the mansion, but there's a lot outside the mansion, which adds that bit of challenge to it because outside the mansion is a pretty big area. So if you have to go around, then do out with the kills as well. It can actually become a pretty challenging map in that sense.
I can imagine, of course, the main goal is to get as many tiles inside the mansion, but it will be really hard to find 2 tiles which are entirely inside. So in my experience, I always ended up in the harbor area to exit or just somewhere else for that last tile. So curious to see if the lines will be like that here. It is 3 o'clock here, so once the timer starts going, I can reveal the first board. There you go. Of course, unlike in roulette, we have to take our time with these tiles and players as well, so won't see any immediate starts.
Well, straight away I can see you can have like you either become the Plague Doctor and drop the solar systems, and you can both pair them with the Silvio kills. So maybe them rows, including them tiles, will come into play, is what I expect to see.
Yeah, it would have been really nice if they were in the same line, but still, it's a two pretty easy tiles get started and just build up on those.
And of course you have drop a slack tile as well, which as well you can also pair with getting rid of the virus, which I feel would be more common than trying to shoot it. And of course you can't. It's a default alert, so you can't bring the EMP in to get rid of the virus in that way. So.
Yeah, Sapienza is generous in terms of the targets because you can use the bioweapon or the DNA virus on Francesca and of course the solar system on Silvio, but the virus is a bit more difficult and you either have to snipe it with a pistol or just drop a stalactite on it. And they're off.
And I'm guessing with the stalactite, I mean, you see Pidgey's already got the church key. I'm guessing we're going to see that bottom row be done. I mean, the Suki, I'm pretty sure, is on the green plumber inside the mansion anyway. So, and with the drop the solar system as well, that bottom row, when you maybe the buy a can of soda, it's nearly a free row in that sense.
Yeah, I think, of course, soda is the one exception. The one I'm thinking of would be near the Sanguine shop, but maybe there's some which are even better. Maybe nearby this ice cream shop. Not quite sure though.
I think they're outside the breachable wall, and with the collect the remote explosive as well, you could see people pair that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how come that is going to be, but maybe with collecting the toy tank, which is in the attic and all that, you could see them pair them 2 rows together as well.
Yeah, lots of options. Pidgey gets the cleaver though, with a nice gun placement. Almost gets spotted trespassing, but got outside the area, so that is also likely to be a... Well, the scooter is an interesting one, but both are viable, both the row and the column.
Yeah, the cleaver can be a bit of a troll, that butcher that works inside there can be. You can have some very bad head turns on his end. It's very easily, because you're close proximity to him, it's very easy to rip there. So it's a bit of a risky one. he's going for the scooter as well. So it looks like he's gonna go for the column 1 and row 5 just from the initial approaches here.
Yeah, however, PG got caught on camera, so that scooter kill, that scooter explosion does not count.
Ooh.
So he has to get rid of the evidence or even restart because it's kind of a wrench in the plans.
Has Mando taken out? Yeah, I think Mando took out the evidence when he got the Bohemian disguise, so the cameras aren't worried for him. Has Pidgey realised that he's got killer guns?
The tile is still there, but hopefully they are in discussion, or if all else fails, then I guess Curry can just remove those tiles, which is kind of unfortunate for PG because yeah, he's now getting behind. There's the scooter tile removed, and the sewer key was I don't know for sure, but
because he got it off the green plumber after the scooter, so he did have yellow guns. So I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Creedy says so he has to blow up another scooter now, even if he goes green again. Yeah, so wait, when he gets his green guns back, he has to do the tiles again. I think.
Yeah, it's
That's
as if
right.
he has never done this tile, sadly. With yellow guns, it's just non-existent.
Like if you have a tile that is collect an item, and that is only one item on the map, if you don't have yellow guns, that tile is just gone for the rest of the game unless you restart.
That's the risk, sadly.
But I think he's looking for a camera box now. There is one right in that room there, so he should get his green guns back and then can go back to doing what he was doing.
Yeah, that's the angle. And back to green guns, and both players will stay with green guns, at least in this run. And there's the scooter. Not
Mando
quite.
going for the virus, so I'm guessing we're going to see a kill on Franny and get the letter opener inside that room as well, which I think is in there. If I remember correctly, there was a letter opener inside of there. So looks like he's going for the column 3 as well, which is another interesting one. It does look on the easier side compared to some of the other ones.
Yeah, it looks like players are spared from many outside tiles, but of course there are one or two which has to be got outside. I don't think this was an intentional try at the match shot. I think that just the prompts and the buttons were just a bit mixed up for PG. Gets one shot, but he had the crowbar to open the door.
Yeah, and I go back to the column 3, the 2 wrenches. You have one in the garden storage and one in the mansion garage. So they are actually very close together. And when you think about getting into the lab, you could go down that route as well. So we could see Mando go into the, or get the virus and go back up through the garage to get the wrench, and then go outside the mansion to any other required tiles.
PG though, with the toy tank, it's now obvious that he is going for the first column and the last row, which means, well, the Plague Doctor won't come into effect, but the solar system for sure, Stalactite for the virus kill, and then Soda and Lab Technician, we've mentioned it's not too difficult or long to get.
Yeah. Well, the lab technician you can basically pair with the stalactite because they're both in the caves, obviously. And I said about the remote explosive being behind the virus cage. You can just pick that up, destroy the breachable wall, get this cannon, escape harbour. And that's Pidgey done. So actually, Pidgey is very close to the exit despite having these yellow gun problems.
Yeah, very nicely optimized, and he also has a minute in-game time lead by now. I think Mando spent quite a lot of time planning and thinking while posing, but of course it's kind of expected when it's a new format and lots of tiles have to be looked up.
As well, I prefer spending that 2 minutes before the game, just before going in and just planning, because if you get your route and you don't have to stop the middle of the round, if you stop during the middle of the round, that could just destroy your entire flow, and that could just basically just destroy how you're playing the flow you're in. If you spend that 2 minutes before just thinking about it, you can just go in and just do it all in one and have that really good time without ripping.
All right, this is unique. By using the golf ball, Falcone was woken up, so Frenny couldn't be eliminated near the usual place, but gets the virus kill, and luckily only the non-enforcer guard turns towards 47, so it's a nice second kill.
Yeah, you got the soda can from that as well, with the vending machine right next to it. So that was very well on from Pidgey. Now it's just to drop the stalactite and the lab technician blending, and we can see them both being done really quickly now.
Yeah, Technician and Selectite, it is just the obvious route back to the laboratory now. There's an Enforcer though, but will be dodged nicely.
Yeah, user, for your question, I think Mando's going for row 1, column 3. I mean, he's got one wrench already. He just needs to do a scooter. He's going for the priest disguise now, so he can literally. There's a scooter outside the church. You could blow up that as well after getting the priest disguise. So I mean, I can't see Pidgey ripping from here. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but you know, Mando is also very close as well. But maybe that him stopping a lot to think about it maybe has cost him that 1 minute lead. 1 minute lead that Pidgey has.
Yeah, I think if they were in isolation, PG might be thinking about making this quicker, but I think it's just very safe and steady to just isolate him, KO slowly, and then just walk around and get the stalactite, which is above the virus, and not go for anything else.
Yeah, and if you're Pidgey and you look at the card and you see Mano's just on the priest disguise, you know he's away from the mansion, and you realise that I can take this a little bit slower. You know, I can take it calmly. You know, just take my time here because I know that he is away from the mansion. He has to get back, and that's quite a long walk in terms of Sapienza.
Yeah, it is very unlikely that Mando would have all 3 objectives. That was close.
We are very close on Pidgey. I mean, both of them only need the stalactite, so this could be pretty close. But Pidgey is in the cave.
And Mando also needs Silvio as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but Pidgey has got the stalactite, so we should see him exit via the plane, and that should be Pidgey out.
First try, 8-12. One tile that he had to redo. I'm not sure about the sewer key as well.
Yeah, no, I thought he started. Yeah, he's going for the. I thought he started sewer key. I thought he got sewer key in yellow guns.
That was my idea as well.
He got the scooter because he never went near the red plumber. He knocked out the green. He went for the scooter, then the green plumber. So I do think that Pidgey did do the sewer key with yellow guns. He never went over to the red plumber anyway. So could be possibly. Oh, I think he did. I think he's done it with yellow guns. So this could be Mando. Might still be in it here. Oh, that's
Yeah, this is very. Look for admin confirmation. Yeah, the.
Meanwhile, Mando has got the kill. He's gone inside the box.
But is the. He can dodge the unforced dots and gets to the virus area.
Oh, he doesn't have a key card. There's a key card right in the solar system room, so it should be fine. He got the solar key near the church disguise. No, he got the church key there. He got that one very early on. I'm pretty sure the sewer key came from the green plumber, because if my knowledge serves me correctly, let me just check my notes. Yeah, there's only 3 sewer keys on the map. 2 of them are on the red plumber and green plumber, and the other one's in the church. And we never saw Pidgey over there, so I do think that Pidgey has done that with yellow guns.
So I don't quite remember now everything he did, but when he got to the green plumber, that was the only real way to get the church key, get the sewer key, sorry. And that was definitely with yellow guns, because it was after getting caught on the camera and using the golf ball to explode the scooter.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check his stream. I'm gonna go back on his stream quick. Cause I think, cause I remember bringing it up when it happened as well. That he did have yellow guns when it happened.
Yeah, and the scooter was removed, and I wasn't sure why the sewer key wasn't. But
yeah, I think,
of course we don't know if Pidgey was aware of the one tile or both.
Yeah, so he has yellow guns when he knocks out the green plumber, and yeah, picks up the keys with yellow guns. So this should be Mando on exit now. I mean, look, he's in a trespass and disguise in the caves when the virus has been knocked out. So I don't know, because of course Pidgey, I don't think he realised he had yellow guns. Otherwise, you know, that's why he had the thing taken away. And if he realised that the sort he was taking away, I'm guessing he would have gone over to the red plumber. But this is a very weird situation.
Yeah, so I'm I'm in DMs with Curry as well, who isn't sure what to do now. So I guess I can like also mention it here that it would be a suggestion for him to talk to the players, because we don't know how this situation went down. If PG noticed the scooter by himself, but not the sewer key, or was it Curry informing him about the scooter but not the sewer key? So can be like it's usually.
I'm with Canada. We're saying it's a respin, but Pidgey, he had a 1 minute lead on exit, or like a 1 minute lead. He exited what 2-3 minutes before Mando. He
Yeah.
had enough time to go to the red plumber, but you're never sure with this game. So I think
No.
it's a hard one to judge here.
And
It's very hard one to judge.
It's very hard to say that it's. Of course, it's not on anyone, but if the tile is removed, then you are with the knowledge that every tile will be removed if you got it unfairly. Yeah. So the fact that the sewer key wasn't removed and he only realized it after exiting, or maybe not even, it's making it much more difficult. So hopefully they can reach a resolution. Yeah.
It's a weird situation. It's only a first in this tournament.
Yeah, lots of firsts in this tournament, of course. Bingo has never really done competitively, so.
And of course, bingo is hard enough. You know, it's definitely one of the hardest things to cast over, especially with admin. You have to look at two people at once, seeing what tile they're doing. It is very easy to miss things.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think anyone's. It's just we're all human at the end of the day. So I think it's either a respin or a tie. I think that's what the right thing here is. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell anything Curry. As long as they reach something that they agree on, then I think it's fine for us as well.
Because when Curry was outside when Pidgey even was outside the mansion getting Granny, he had time to then go to the red plumber or go to the key that's in the church. I know there's one in there.
Yeah.
And of course, because he still had it marked, he obviously thought that he'd done it properly, and it's just it's a weird one.
It's really nothing intentional, because so much going on during bingo, so you probably forget about those tiles by the end of the run, unless it's unmarked. Of course, it's probably the only notification for you that you have to do it as well. But it was marked, so why he can't really. Yeah.
He exited with a game time, 8 minutes or something like that, and he did the tile at 2 minutes 30. So that's 5.5 minutes just in game time. Of course, there's stoppages, swapping weapons, pause into mark of tiles and that. So I think,
yeah, just so it takes so long, and so much can happen in the meantime.
So, Gregory says Pidgey could have avoided that. Honestly, as the scooter explosion took out the camera along with it. Yeah, but I don't think he realised that he got caught by a camera until the scooter was taken off him. I genuinely don't think he realised that he got spotted by a camera.
Yeah.
Because of course usually you get a little prompt at the top of your screen. I don't think he saw it. I genuinely don't think he saw it, because then I don't think he would have got the key knowing that he has yellow guns. If he knew he had yellow guns there, he could have just gone up the town hall and got the camera box inside the town hall. So I just generally think he just didn't realise, and it's easy to miss things, you know.
It's very easy, and exactly if there was no picture-in-picture, but I think there was, but it was very small anyway. But also this brings me back to when we were discussing the rules and when should tiles be claimed. Of course, it was a long discussion if it's only green guns or as long as it's not red guns, and it's just, of course, it's one of the arguments in this situation. It's just so hard to notice yellow guns because it's not the same situation. It happens much more often than, of course, the red guns from targets or otherwise. Just an extra thing to look out for. Hopefully, none of them have fallen asleep. I know Mando has had some quite unfortunate COVID illness. And then they can reach a resolution. There's nothing else that I know of at the moment.
I mean, if a respin means more bingo, then I'm all for the respin, to be honest.
Would be the first match with at least 3 spins, so at least there's that. Of course, if players get players both get half points, then we might only see one more map because it's first to 1.5. It is basically the result taken after 2 maps, which has been the old roulette format and used now here as well. That 2 maps plus the decider if needs be. So I guess that's also something to consider. Do we start from 0 again, or both players 1 point away from winning?
Yeah, speaking of ties, isn't it? If you finish, if the timer runs out on a map, it's whoever has the most tiles takes the map in it. Whoever has like the most things at the end.
Yeah, that was the case all along, but during the first match we were just under the impression that it's a tie instead of a tuna. But basically we always try to give out the 1 point because it's just so much easier. And now the tiles are being removed. And it is a Sapi replay, Curry says. So we are starting the match soon after this 20-minute preparation.
Just a little warm-up match, you know, some of the quick practice spin on. User says, any percent version of bingo would be interesting. I think I see that as basically lockout in a way. You know, I think definitely my shot going into a lockout game would be what tiles can I do in the first 5 minutes or the first couple of minutes. You know, I think getting tiles done first and the kills is more optimal depending on what game mode you're playing, and that's what I like about having the non-lockout and lockout game mode. It gives multiple strats anyways in one game mode. When you have 2, there's more than one thing to think about all the time, and it's just a nice edge to the game. Improv bingo, yeah, no, it would be good to see.
Yes, lots of ways to play bingo. Yesterday there were even more ideas about team bingo or blackout bingo, where I think it's all 25 tiles, right?
Yeah, all 25 tiles. That would just be whoever has the better route win. You know, knowing where everything is, being able to just get, because if you don't miss anything, then you just have a run straight through the map and you've got it.
Yeah.
You know, so things like that, especially like in the final, maybe you should have just a blackout where first person to get the tiles wins the map, and we could see this take away that type of game mode take away from the sort of meta strats we'll start to see as the tournament progresses.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what if we see anything common in these late tournament runs, and of course with future tournaments if they do happen. Okay, the timer has just... Yeah, sorry.
You have strats on map that will work for like a non-lockout game, but won't work on lockout. Like on Berlin, do you take out the 5 agents straight away? Because if you spend the first minute and a half, 2 minutes getting rid of all the targets, you might not do any tiles, which in non-lockout isn't the end of the world. But in a lockout game where the tiles can only be claimed once, that we would see a shift in how you approach the map, when you kill the targets, when you do the clues on Whittleton, for example.
Yeah, so much to consider. So from our perspective, this is sort of still a test, this whole first tournament, and if we see the matches from the non-lockout part and the lockout part, and one of the formats work much better for competitive, then of course future tournament may only use one of those formats, but that doesn't mean that we would forget about the other, and of course other formats may be tried out, just something to consider in these later rounds as well.
Maybe because of course in this tournament it's round 1 and 2 are non-lockout, then quarterfinals onwards are lockout. You could maybe introduce, I mean this is my idea, it's probably not a really good one, but you could introduce it being randomized, so you don't know, this map could be lockout, but then the next map in the game could be non-lockout. I don't know how that will fare with being randomized and all that, but
or perhaps you could, there's the map pick ban phase, and then they could also choose the format, and there's the timer. Yeah, so we are off for the second Sapienza, first map. We just in the main menu, but should probably both be aware that the match has started.
Yeah, and again you have that collect them explosive, but this time you do have Blop, the Biolab brick wall, so maybe seeing them paired with each other. They're both in the cave, so you could see them be paired quite well.
Yeah, there's the faucets versus sinks in the same row, so it's at least a reason to not mix up. Sadly happened yesterday, but
Yeah, no. When I first saw the tiles, I saw 10 on forces. Like, what the hell are forces? I genuinely didn't have a clue what they were until I went on Hitman, looked at where they are, and then saw them. And I thought, oh, that's what they are. That's what they're called. I thought they're just called taps. But no,
Ah.
yeah, special name.
Yeah, we weren't sure if they should be merged together or have some sort of collective name, but we ended up using heat maps wherever we can and the exact names. So some of them are faucets, some of them are sinks, which is, of course, this nice situation that people can mix it up.
Yeah, I mean, on Sapienza, there's a bunch of public toilets, there's a bunch of sinks in the map. You see Pidgey straight away starting a safe house and getting the sink in that. So there are lots of things. He's going for the release of church bell, which can be a little bit risky because you can sometimes get NTKs from my experience, I think.
Yeah, I think naturally as well someone walks under it, one of the church staff. I know if
Yeah,
panicking can work, but it's a quick first tile and the second sink now.
Yeah, so he looks like he's going for that row 2. Interesting to see what column he will pair that up if he does do it with a column. And there is a faucet outside the room as well, so that is one of them 2 done.
Careful with the camera, it stays green now, and of course these faucets and sinks will distract these guards, but PG will be far away by then. So there's a second faucet and on 2 sinks, so 1 away now.
And there is one in this room, if I remember correctly. I think it's a bugged one because it doesn't actually overfill, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
You can turn it on, but it doesn't overflow, I think.
You cannot get any electrocution from here live or non-live, 47 or the target. But at least for bingo, it is a working one, or at least one that you can turn on. So that's 3, and the bucket would be, of course, in the garden and the toy tank in the attic. So probably the Francesca kill. You'll see much more progress in the next minute.
I do want to see someone accidentally pick up the explosive golf ball and put that in and kill Sylvia with that. That would be funny. Of course, you do lose red guns with it. But if someone just mistaking that for a normal golf ball would be pretty amusing for us. Not for the player, but for us, it would be more on the amusing side, I'd say.
Oh yeah. Mando going for the kitchen sink. And there are 2 here actually. I didn't really pay attention to this. And I assume he didn't get the one in 47's safe house, because then it would be 3 now, of course.
Well, he would have ticked it off then, and he hasn't ticked it off. So, I mean, meanwhile, PG has got the kill on Sylvia and is going to the Franny right now. So, or going to get the toy tank, go back down there and get Franny. So, I mean, Pidgey basically has 1 line done already, excluding the golf ball in the bucket.
Yeah, and then of course the second line would be still a question. None of them obvious or free by themselves. PG not using the poison, which is a rarity in bingo, but of course the timing works out perfectly for this pistol kill and hide.
I mean, all the other columns, when we're looking at them, do have that one like outlier, if you will. Like with column 1, you have Blood Scooter. It's not that hard. We saw it done in like the last map. Blow up the bio wall or pacify some of the piano can be on the more challenging side when we look at the rest of the tiles in that 1 row or column. So on all the other columns, there is that one that is out of the way or a little bit harder than all the other ones.
So PG is looking to pacify at least 1 of these, but I don't see. Of course, he's going for the safe then, because I didn't see any item to pick up or person to pacify. And of course you don't need the items upon exiting, so the toy tank can already be used. And there's the safe, so it is looking like column 3 once again.
Yeah, it does look like the easier column. You mean Mansion Key? We've seen Mando get it. That's in the room that overlooks the observatory. I'm pretty sure. There's one around there, and by the butler, I think there's one around there as well. Become a mansion staff. There is a free one, isn't there? I'm pretty sure.
There is below the kitchen, yeah, near the housekeeper.
Yeah. There's a free one there, and you have scissors, which I think there are 2 scissors in the mansion. I'm guessing there would be.
Yeah, I know of one on the top
look at
floor
them.
next to
No,
Francesca.
there's only one in the mansion. Look at this.
Oh. Would the next closest be
Oh, no,
the
no, no.
Sanguine shop, or is there anything better than that?
Yeah, so there's one in the town hall, the Sanguine shop, the hairdressers, and the church. Where the bell falls, there's 4 in there. Then there's only one. In that big room next to Frank's office, there's one in there. So that's the only scissors inside the mansion itself. So we could see a harbour escape maybe from Pidgey. It would be my initial guess.
Oh, as Mando gets spotted turning on the gramophone, which is illegal here. And the first restart of the match. As Pidgey going for the butler, so it is a diagonal instead. Not the column. But the scissors also look fairly forgiving, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's only 3 hammers on this map. Thankfully, they're all inside or in the mansion area, so the hammers are definitely more easier than the scissors. The butler can sometimes be one of the more challenging disguises on this map, but he's managed to do it. Yeah.
So I'm wondering about this mansion stuff that PG went past. I know that he can cycle sometimes through the butler's room, or the room that the butler is in right now, while going to the kitchen, so hopefully it won't be an issue in the next half a minute, but PG is on 1 hammer. And does not get spotted using the golf ball.
You don't want to rip there when you want 1 more tile to do. That'd be painful to rip. You just need 1 more hammer. There's one by Mother Caruso's grave, I'm pretty sure. I think there's one around there, which is going to now. It's just a simple destroying of the virus, and that's Pidgey done. Mando with another restart. I didn't see why that time.
So he wasn't red. He released the church bell, but he wasn't red, so I wonder... Maybe he was yellow because I only could see the smaller replay, so... he didn't like how it was used. And I wonder about this entry for PG, I'm not quite sure how. Because this isn't hostile as... Oh wait, I think I'm misunderstanding. Yeah, it's the fine.
Oh, he doesn't get the quick drop down the cliff. First time, I guess it's the second time though, so it should be fine.
It's a bit more crucial for EMP shots.
Yeah, you should take out the camera as well, which... I mean, I don't think there's a couple that can spot in this area, but it should be fine. Big whoosh though. Doesn't explode though, so it should be fine.
Yeah, I think with that, this is just textbook, although he's watching out for that guard.
So Mando started a church morgue just for the church bell to run up and jump down the pipe. So, we saw Mando possibly change his entire strat just to fit that church bell in. Pidgey just looking for the right time to shoot the stalactite. Gets it. Gets the right spell, so that should be Pidgey out. This time he did do every tile with green guns, so we shouldn't see a replay. Unless I missed, I think.
Unless there is one more rule that we aren't aware of. I just double check because there's a question about the church bell, but it can be released by shooting it as PG did at the start of the round, so it is at the GG, and PG gets the first point at last and should be confirmed now.
The destroy thing. Yeah, I have it. Next to me, yeah, it's just a destroy thing, so. And even if you're not sure if it's dropped, it is pretty loud when it gets dropped, so you can't hear it when it gets dropped. So there's no questions about that.
And that's the first point for Pigiero. So we are definitely going to the second map now, and that would be Hokkaido, which is Pidgey's Peak. It is the 5th Hokkaido now in 6 matches. Oh, actually 5 matches. One match didn't have one, yours. And the match after that had to make up for that.
I had to do a treasure hunt in Chongqing instead. And funny, Speece has just messaged me back as well, so we should have our game scheduled by the end of this one as well.
Perfect. And that will be a round 2 match. No immediate time pressure, just a hope to finish the second round by the 9th, which is Saturday. Of course, the tournament finishing on next Saturday is still ways away.
Jenny gave from 23. Oh God, it's pretty late for me. Jesus.
Oh.
Oh my God. It'll be over quickly, anyways. You know, so it's fine. No, I'm doing. Let's try that.
So, is there any update on the second map? Of course, it's coming, but no time just yet. So once the timer restarts and going down, and I will, of course, unhide the cover.
Provides cutting-edge medical treatment for the global elite outside the law if required. The facility is partially run by an artificial intelligence system.
Of course, we've seen plenty of Hokkaido so far, but still worth mentioning that because it is default loadout and you can't bring key hackers, this is probably one of the more unique maps of the map pool and maybe the trilogy.
Yeah, it's the map where when I first saw the map, I was like, you'd think it'd be on the easier side of it. When you actually look into Hokkaido, it is pretty challenging in the sense you can't have key hackers, and there's a lot of map knowledge involved with Hokkaido. You know, I've seen some people say that for example, the turn on expert mode in the console is hard. All you have to do is press a button, and there's only one enforcer in that room, and that's if you're in the handyman or resort staff disguise. So there's just these little things to each map that the more you know, obviously, is the better for this tournament.
Yeah, and it's like such a unique map knowledge that one that you didn't really know of or experience or practice beforehand. Of course, another thing is just in general the non-lethal melee items, which have to be relearned, of course. For roulette or other assassination methods, you already know about the lethal melees, but just so much extra stuff to learn or just experience if you want to be winging it.
And we just saw Pidgey do that Yuki kill off spawn. If you know that Yuki kill, that's going to put you in a good position, because, I mean, unless you have the sauna at 4 minutes, she can't be on the challenger side to kill. So that kill at start could be good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Yuki has two main approaches: the kill at the start with the gondola or the sauna at 4 minutes, and that's the reason why the two main strategies are built around it. I think one starting in the street for the early Yuki kill, and one in the morgue to get some extra tiles around that early on, and then of course get Yuki in the sauna at 4 minutes. So it is 38 past the hour, so just under 2 minutes until the Hokkaido spin. Or Hokkaido board, I guess. And it is Pidgey's match point. If he wins this, or at least doesn't lose, then he will advance to round 2.
Who do they play then? Oh, the winner plays Fanium, so yeah. As I always say with Fanium, free win, you know.
Plenty of big names in this quarter. Mando, Pidgey, Fanium, and Chris are still in play.
Barb, Canera as well, especially in that sense as well. There are big names on one side of the bracket. Thankfully. I know, of course, you say that everyone's a rookie, but you have a lot of tournament rookies in this competition as well. You know, it's, I would say, my first competition in the sense of like knockout at the SA race. But you have a game every month, but it seems with that Team Roulette 3, that's just the Team Roulette 3 there's no competition like it. You can have a team bingo maybe, but there's nothing like it. So yeah,
very unique experience. But yeah, single elimination. Now it's win or get knocked out, and of course you've won so far, and then Speedster will be the next opponent of yours, and then either Rocky or Red Fox, which will be decided on Saturday.
Yes, they come very quickly, especially starting round 1. It does come quickly, the games in this over this 2-week period. which I'm not playing. I like playing bingo, so
Mhm.
having a game every 3 days is good.
Yeah,
Being in which I have sent you the information for minor species game, so
that's perfect and will be added as soon as this match finishes, but we have the second board, second map, third board I guess for this match. Portman Bodyguard next to each other, some early disguise is possible. Heli
and
Pilot and Heli Piestas, yeah?
there's two toilet control panels as well. You could do a 47's bathroom, then get to Portman as well. So you could pair them two together. Collect 3 soda cans and buy a can of soda. You can just get them from the vending machines as well. So
You can, yeah.
PG's shouting Dexter off the start.
Target down.
So he could be
Oh, yeah,
looking for
yeah.
Dexter's toilet panel, or is there a Dexter tile?
There is a Dexter disguise tile. And the other one I was thinking about as well with speaking in terms of Portman, you can block Yuki's gas lamp from Portman Suite. It is doable. It's my preferred way of shooting it, especially in Yuki's Suite. You have to get out with bodyguards there. Portman's is empty, so it's near enough for the best place in my opinion to shoot. I think you can shoot from the gondola as well. I think that's doable, but I prefer doing it from a Portman Suite if you in the right disguise or the door is unlocked.
Yeah, we had some discussions about the gas lamp, and there are a few angles which barely work, but quite annoying. I think even the spy area has a barely angle, and the ninja start if you are good at sniping. I think Portman's room is just best for that, and we could see PG unfortunately couldn't get Dexter as he turned around and closed the door immediately. So instead he's replanning and rerouting will become a security.
I mean, and we've seen them all the times. Like people saying, like the become a doctor is going to be a challenge tile. You can actually pair that really well with Dexter's Ivy Drip. You have the two dots way outside. You get in a suite, reading that, and they come in behind each other. And they're pretty simple to knock out. I mean, and if you have Dexter down as well, you don't have to worry about him coming back into the room either.
Yeah, it's not entirely a lot to do in Hokkaido, so some are like connected this way, so you can get a 2-for-1 easily, which is of course part of the game to figure out which are the easiest combinations, and probably reduce your hospital detours as much as possible, because those can take long.
And most of the time, I think on Hokkaido, you will see the entire map. Like generally, you'll always be by the scoot wreck, so you'll be in like the restaurant, you'll be in the kitchen, you'll be in the staff area, you'll be in the garage, you'll be in the hospital itself, you'll be in the morgue. I think most of the time you will see all of the map in play, really.
Yeah, I mean it's a small map but very busy, and everything like every part of the map can have something going on. PG makes full potential of this kitchen. He collected the kitchen knives, became a chef, and now opened the roller door in the kitchen.
Yeah, and he has 4 very straightforward tiles left. I mean, the rat poison. There's a rat poison in the kitchen. If you're going for that one, there's one in the kitchen and one in the garage. I'm not sure if he's missed that or not, or if he picked it up and I've just missed him picking it up, because obviously you have to get both before you can take it off. Then the generator and the icicles, they're generated outside by the big machine, and then the icicles just line up along that wall. So them two are very close together as well, and the bodyguard is, you have the one by the camera box and the morgue where you can kill your sodders from. So this could be a pretty quick Hokkaido on Pidgey's end, indeed.
Yeah, indeed. He got the second rat poison. You can see the inventory. And then it's, basically his... it comes down to how quick he wants to finish this one. It's 3 minute 10 for him, of course. Yuki is down, so he doesn't have to go to sauna or anything anymore. It's a big whoosh and a big buffer, but gets through this area, and probably not many challenges from him anymore. Waits out for that head turn. He already became a bodyguard on my end, but of course just a bit of delay, and now I can tick it off, and 2 tiles and the wall bank remaining.
Or you can shoot the heart. I mean, you can shoot the heart. That's always a little thing. But yeah, I mean, the wall bang is it's hard to mess it up. It's a pretty simple thing to aim. We gotta see the articles come through as well. They're all aligned here, so they're pretty straightforward to do. 1, 2, there's just one more down there. Don't get an NTK. That can happen, I think. But
Going to turn them around if possible, but he can't
yeah,
stop
just
them.
wait, just wait.
Yeah, you have to look at the situation that it's 8 tiles to 4, so definitely can wait out this half a minute, or I mean not even that. Gets the last icicle, and there's the generator at the other side of this snowmobile.
It's illegal.
And he does turn away
Yeah, it's it.
for the last tile, and the first try sub 5 will take this
nice
match.
from Pidgey. Only 5 minutes 45 seconds looking at the timer initially, so that's very quick from Pidgey. I mean, when we had 2 Sapienzas played on quite a slow pace, and had Hokkaido just come in and just steamrolling away from Pidgey, it's very impressive.
Yeah, found the right lines very early, and Mando we could see now that's 6 tiles for him, and of course seeing Pidgey's route he could just follow it up on, but Mando tried to be there if Pidgey were to restart or anything, but Pidgey didn't, and takes this match 2-0. So...
Yeah, I mean, very good from Pidgey. I mean, Mando, he was always behind Pidgey, I think Pidgey managed to get his strats in his head and what he's going to do quicker than what Mando was doing. I mean, Mando had the ideas there. We saw it, we saw him, he complete the first Sapienza. He was getting there on that Hokkaido. But Pidgey, Pidgey's a good player, so as you expect, so...
Just so quick, yeah. And I think the main difference was just the planning time, and we could see Pidgey so much earlier in the map, which... I mean, maybe he extended the lead anyway, but I think it was just the main thing that we could see, that Pidgey is so quick with that.
And this is where map knowledge comes into play. If you can see a row and you know exactly where everything is, it's sorted for you. You know what I mean? Like, you just know that's there, I can do that now, and you can load it straight away, and you're in a very good position.
Yeah, and with that we have our next player in round 2, and we already mentioned that Phenium will play the winner of this one, so it is Phenium versus Pigiero in the 7th match of round 2, and that winner of that match will play Chris X3, so it's a very, very thick trio, and only one can make it to the semi-final. And yeah, I can already mention that you did schedule a couple of minutes ago for the 8th of April at 23 CEST.
CEST.
Yeah,
Just 10 o'clock my time, staying up late, I am.
10 o'clock your time, that's what matters, so we can use it for scheduling, and that will be Speedster versus Jokerj, another round 2 match. And yeah, beyond that...
2 maps at the moment.
Oh, right. At least beyond that, every match is scheduled, but I think I can show the upcoming matches once again. It is not today for Europe, but today for the Americans, because it's 3 a.m. Central European time for Barbecue versus Cake and Eat, the last of the round 1 matches. That is in just over 11 hours from now. That will be the last match for a bit, and then of course Friday 8 p.m. for Yanni versus some random person, and then the 2 Saturday matches I mentioned. But we are getting deeper in the tournament, and soon we will reach those round 3 matches and the lockout bingo begins. So that should be it from us today. Thank you so much, Jokerj, for joining me.
Thank you for letting me on.
Yeah, my pleasure for sure. And get well soon, Mando. GG's to PG, and thank you both for playing. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you guys for the next match. Bye bye.
Bye bye.